Hey, good evening, everybody. You're in luck. You got a video by Martin now. These are much better than him just rambling up on stage. But in all honesty, what I need to tell you is I'm just kind of burning time. I'm wasting time right now. I know the fifth grade played, they sounded awesome. Then you had a little bit of entertainment up there, a little trash canny, bangy, bangy thing. Then, of course, the middle school played, and I'm sure they sounded fantastic. But now we got to get ready for the high school band. So you might hear some scurrying on on the stage, the moving of stands and chairs and things, but we're getting geared up for you. But while we're doing that, I wanted to, present you with a little bit of entertainment, a little video, all right, a little informational video, okay? Because I'm sure many of you have heard, and if you hadn't, this might be new news, but earlier in the year, there was, we had NFL football season. I love NFL football. I'm a big fantasy football guy. I'm horrible. But throughout the season, they go through the season, and news comes out that famous football player, world-renowned center for the Philadelphia Eagles, Mr. Jason Kelce, is retiring from football. I'm sure you may have heard that name, probably because his brother is dating Taylor Swift, but we're not going to get into that because I know that's kind of like a thing. All right. But anyway, Jason Kelce, regarded as like the best center in the NBA, offensive lineman, just an outstanding football player, retires from the NFL, and he has his retirement speech, and he's going down the gigantic list of people he needs to thank: coaches, players, friends, family. And throughout this whole thing, he's naming off people, and somewhere in the middle he names his band director. And all of us band directors and band director world were like, yeah, this is awesome. But he goes on to thank his band director for putting up with him, teaching him some things. And so that was kind of cool. And then later, he has a very famous podcast that he does with his brother. They do it on YouTube. You can listen to it on your phone or whatever. I listen all the time. They're really funny guys. But later, after his retirement speech, he goes on to his podcast, and him and his brother discuss him thanking his band director. And he goes into more detail of why he thought band was an important thing in his life. And it was really, really cool to me as, a Sayre guy. In this video, he says something like, he encourages kids to do as many extracurriculars as they can, everything that they enjoy, because you can pull so many things from every single one. And, they grew up like in Cleveland, in a big city. This is Sayre, America, but that's a really great thing we have here in Sayre, America, is you can do band, choir, football, baseball, track. I don't know how many kids I lost, for track meets, for baseball games, football games. It's awesome that you could do all these things, and I stress that to them as much as possible. So it's really cool that this guy who is like the epitome of star athlete in the world is telling kids like, hey, you need to do all these things and you can learn so much. It was kind of cool. And so I pulled some clips off the internet and stuck them to the end of this so you guys could enjoy. And hopefully by the time he's done talking, high school band will be ready to go, and we'll play some music for him. We'll have a wonderful rest of our evening. So enjoy this little snippet of the New Heights podcast.
From user MWags75 on Club 92 as well. I love that Jason thanked his band director during his retirement speech. That was a left field.
Was it?
It wasn't for you, but for people that don't know you. Can Jason tell us more about his musical background? Does he think he'll pick it back up now that he's retired? Jason's never not been musically gifted.
Hot selling Christmas albums back to back years. What are these people talking about? Pick it back up.
Yeah, player. This guy's selling vinyls. What do you mean pick it back up?
In Cleveland Heights, everybody had to start with an instrument in fourth grade.
Hot cross buns. Oh, no, you're talking about a real instrument.
Well, no, you started with an instrument too. You played hot cross buns on the trumpet for a little bit.
Recorder.
You gave it up quick. You got over it
I got forced to be in, because everybody wants to play the drums, I feel like, and the percussion.
You would have been a good drummer.
I would. No, I got forced to play something else. You had already picked the coolest of the horns in the saxophone, so I didn't want to be like you, so I chose something else. And the little Sammy Davis. No, not Sammy Davis Jr. Is it? No. Louis Armstrong.
Are you thinking of a trumpet player?
Louis Armstrong.
If you're talking about cool, though, you can't leave out Miles Davis, the birth of cool. So, yeah, Travis picked up trumpet and got out of that fairly quickly. Did you do it in middle school or did you?
Only middle school.
When did you stop?
I stopped in 8th grade. You only had to do it for 6th and 7th, I think.
I started with saxophone and played it all the way through high school. I played in symphonic band in high school, as well as I played in the jazz ensemble, which at Cleveland Heights was pretty prestigious, let me tell you.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet. Yeah. I used to love going to those ones. The orchestra ones, the big, like those ones were cool. When it was the jazz ensemble, I was all in on that. I was like, yeah, I'll go to this one.
Those were the cool
Dad.
cats.
Yeah, I'll show up for this one.
Rip a baritone sax solo.
Electric.
No, Mr. Baker was the band director as well as the jazz ensemble director. And man, I tell people this all the time. I really think playing band and playing music in general has allowed me to excel in sport and other things, because as with anything, I encourage kids to play as many sports, do as many extracurriculars as you can that you enjoy, because you end up drawing things from each one of those that is unique and different.
1000%. Yeah.
With band, in my opinion, if you want to learn the importance and the value of practice, nothing will teach you that more clear than an instrument.
Practice.
The first time you pick up that instrument and try to play anything, you are going to be terrible. But the more you practice at it, you will get good.
Yeah.
Like, it's that simple. It's just so right in your face how much that affects how you play. You also learn to like tempo how you learn. So like when you're learning a song, if you try and play at full speed, you can't do it right away. So what do? You slow it down. You walk through it. You go through the fingerings. You go through the notes, and you do the same thing in football. Like when you're going with a route, like if you just try and run at full speed every single time, no, there's a time to utilize tempo. There's a time to walk through it and hit every step.
Technique.
Yeah. So I think that there's a lot of carryover in band and a lot of things that people try and do. And it's a lot of fun. And I had a really, really good teacher that I've kept in touch with throughout the years, and Brett Baker. It wouldn't have been right to not thank him.
Yeah. I hear you on that.
Because he taught me a lot.